Aww. Thank you for being here. So, I'm scared when I start talking, I'm going to have to keep talking. And this is nerve-wracking. So what I thought we would start talking about is how tired I am of being wrong. I've been wrong so much today specifically. Aw, hey. Hey. Usually when I do live chats with anybody, when I go on live with anybody, I always let them start the conversation and I let them kind of lead the conversation. So this is completely new for me to have to. ENTP here. So yeah, this is completely new for me to have to lead the conversation. So it's probably good for me. Hey, INTJ. What? How do I do that? Oh, and I was also wondering, Nathan. Thank you for being here, Nathan. So I was wondering, do I need to share this anywhere? Or do anything other than what I've done? Okay. We're just new at this. So, but yeah. So, this is horrifying. So yeah, let's talk about my mistakes. Well, no, this is actually a fun one that I was happy to finally figure out. So you guys know how I've been, okay. You guys know how I've been unsure if, I don't know how many of my videos you guys have watched, but I have a sister that I thought was an ENTP or an ENFP. And today I decided I'm pretty sure she's an ENFP. Katie told me that she's pretty sure she's an ENFP, and then I had a lot of people in the comment. I did a sister chat, and I got a lot of comments saying that they think Renee is an ENFP, and I'm pretty sure she is. So I was wrong. I thought she was an ENTP because that extroverted intuition, it's just so sneaky, and I saw it in her, but I thought that she had TI instead of FI. Yes, I have visited California. Last summer, actually. Which, by the way, Kitty, do you want to say hi? Tell everyone hi. Our Kitty, I do think that she is an ESTP. Well, I'm not exactly sure, but hi, INTPs. She is ambitious. This cat is ambitious. She's lazy and ambitious at the same time. She slaughters everything that's around: moles, mice, rats, squirrels. Queen Tiger, you have been guessed every type in the book, have you not? INFPs. Yeah, you know what? I don't understand that. INFPs and INTPs are so different. I don't understand that mix up at all. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, Grace, I was going back when I was looking at my video that I did with Renee and Carrie. That was 4 months ago, and I saw you in the comments. Chris, I recognize your name. Katie. I missed that comment. I didn't see that whole comment. That's too bad. Can you write that last part of that comment? Katie is on a date right now with an INTJ. Hopefully she doesn't mind me sharing her private information. You guys are making this so much easier for me. Thank you. FI seems to feel like TI. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's very true. So INFPs think that they are INTPs, but then INTPs do not feel the reverse. INTPs do not feel like they are INFPs. I could see that being true. Also, I've wondered if it's common that high TI users are less likely to mistype themselves. I mean, I don't know, but it's been something I've thought about. Same. Okay, yeah. Similar to me and ENTPs. Yes, INFPs do think they are super smart thinkers. Hi Lou, I'm an INTP. Oh, it's hard to keep up with these comments. Oh. Oh, to an INTP. Oh, this will be fun. So, as I'm married to an INTP, and the things I see in the world. Let's see, put me on the spot on that, and I'm not so good. It's very, very obvious in day-to-day life that I have extroverted sensing and he does not. Like, he just doesn't notice things. And well, I'll just say his reaction to my extroverted sensing, he's very fascinated by it and he really likes it. I don't know. I can't explain it on the spot like this. Maybe I should have kept going with that because now the comments have dried up. So after this, I told Nathan I would. Why do these comments patches? How can people stop ESTPs from persuading them? Is that your question? No, you want to be persuaded. People think they don't want to be persuaded, but they actually do. But if you tell an ESTP that you are not into their idea, well, I can speak for me, and now I know Katie, and she's the same way. If you just tell us you don't want to do our plan or you don't like our plan, we are fine with it. Isn't that right, Nathan? You can just tell us that you don't like our plan at all. Time for a divorce. Why? No, I wants to get into cleaning. Oh, she needs to do it on her own. Be a private house cleaner. Don't work for a company unless she works for a company and they train her in, but you make really good money on your own. Get in with good clients. She can talk. You can message me in the comments. I'll give you my email and I can talk more. Yes, we want to give you a good experience and we're really good at picking up. Like, there are certain, I want to talk about that actually, because I love giving, let's just talk about that for a second. So I love giving people a good experience and I really study people to know what kind of experience they would like. So if I pick up that you are, that you like a more take the lead type of person, I will try to be that for you. But then if I sense that you like to take the lead, then I will let you lead me into an experience. And either way, I'm giving you an experience, but I'm trying to give you the best experience for you. What's a relationship? Asking for a friend. What kind of relationship? ISFPs are very interesting people. Yes. Listen, my mom is an ISFP, and I don't think people would suspect that, but ISFPs are very easy to talk to. Very easy to talk to. You don't let anyone take the lead? Huh. Interesting. Yeah. It has to be you in charge. Yeah. I have an ENTJ that I clean for, and every time that I clean, he's there every time I clean, and he follows me from room to room, and we have the conversation he wants to have, and he definitely takes the lead in every single conversation. Kick you out of your shell? Yeah, we do that. Listen, we make it really easy for people to be comfortable to be out of their shell. So if people are going to let loose and come out of their shell, they'll do it with us. I mean, again, I don't know many ESTPs in real life, but I'm just saying people will open up to me and let me take them on a ride, but in a healthy way. ISFP, have you met an ISFP or an ESTP in real life? We actually clash a little bit. You can tell our differences in real life. ESTJs just kick you. No, ESTJs, listen, ESTJs watch me and wander. Like, they really like ESTJs. I like them. Yeah, ESTJs. Someone in the comments, I forgot to respond to this comment actually. So someone in my comments said something about ESTJs. If I have a problem with INTJs, then I would definitely have a problem with ESTJs. And it's just not so. ESTJs, I pick up on their vulnerability. I'm not as intimidated. I'm intimidated by INTJs. Like, they're so rigid, and they have no need for me in their life. And I don't know how to interact with that personality type. I've been going mad studying the INTJ the last days. They are fascinating. These comment sections, my life. I'm learning so much. INTJs are writing me books. It's so much fun. If you guys get a chance, go read all their comments. I think your guys' comments probably come in a little slower than you guys type them out. And they're coming in batches, which is making it hard because I don't see all of them. And I only get to respond to one or two. This isn't so bad. I can do this. Actually, I think you guys give credit to you guys. If you could be any type, you'd be an ESTJ. How do you get in touch with? Oh, introverted. What's your type? If you want to get in touch with introverted intuition. Yes, INTJs are thinking the exact opposite of me. Ooh, that's fascinating. You have a mom friend that's an INTJ. My INTJ sister is pregnant, and I'm so excited to see her as a mom. She is just going to be just the best mom. But how is she as a mom? So I've been curious about how my sister is going to interact with other moms, because she'll do anything for her kids. So getting them out there and activities and stuff, she'll do it. Which, I mean, she doesn't socialize with people very much otherwise, but I'm fascinated to see how she'll interact with other moms. She has 6 kids. Ooh, that's probably good for her. Keep her busy. INTJs are emotional and very sweet. Yes. Can we talk about that for a second? INTJs, in my comments, you'll notice they all say we only think with logic. We do not like emotions. But then they respond with emotions. I feel like it's me saying I don't have emotions, because in some ways I don't have emotions like normal people, but actually I can be kind of sensitive. INTJs are exactly like that. Like, our framework is very similar. The two types. Fascinating. It's very similar. ESTPs and INTJs are extremely sensitive, extremely logical, but in completely different ways. We like to think we're not that sensitive, but we definitely are. If I comes out in the INTJ, oh, for sure. Yeah, so I had somebody say in the comments that they are more concerned about the big picture of things. They're not so concerned with the individual human being, but like the big scheme of things, and like humans in general. Like, one of the INTJs said that she lives a no waste life, and she wrote me paragraphs about it. And then someone else said that they don't care necessarily, like they will sacrifice the individual for the group. Whereas I'm the exact opposite. I'm not so concerned about like global warming or, like these no waste or any, like I care, but I'm not going to wake up in the middle of the night worried about that. But if you are if you're one of my people, I wake up worried about you if something's going on in your life. Like, I care about the individual person, which is very interesting that we have that difference. Ooh, INTPs, surprisingly, I'm not surprised to hear you say that, but my INTP, so I've had two INTPs in my life that have played a really big role. INTPs love their FE. If the INTPs that are in the comments, tell me, do you like doing things for your people that you love? Both INTPs I've had in my life, they don't have very many people in their circle, but once you're there, they love to do things for you. INTPs annoy you? What? When it's healthy, when it's not, it's bad, bad, bad. You're an INTP. Yeah, see, I've never seen an unhealthy INTP. Both of mine have been very Yes. Yes, like Carr just loves if I, like he likes to go on Amazon and order me things that I want. He recently I wanted a TV stand and he doesn't like for me to make big decisions in our household like what refrigerator we're going to get or any kind of appliance. Basically, he likes to buy the furniture and everything because he can do all the shopping. He can take the measurements, he can, price compare. Did you guys know there's promo codes for almost everything? And I don't look into them enough. He gets so disappointed. So he takes notes. And I wanted a TV stand, and he took me from shop to shop so he could get the exact color and get exactly what vision I had so that he could then go get something that pleased both him and I. And he loved doing that. That would drive me crazy. I would never do that. I don't care about most people, but if you I do care about it. Yeah, exactly. Emily, healthy INTP. Where are the healthy INTPs? I don't know. Ooh, I'll tell Carr, install Honey. Okay, I'll tell Carr that. I don't shop for discounts. I have no time for that. I mean, I have time. I don't have patience for it. The healthy INTPs. Yeah. An INTP, you feel, yes, listen. Oh, Lou. We'd have to talk more about shopping matters. Would you be as horrified with me as Carr is? I recently bought something. So sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit of a burden to him because he has to shop for everything. And occasionally he has so many responsibilities and occasionally he's stressed out. So I made a purchase. I told him I was going to make the purchase. It was around $200. And I told him I was going to do it. It's just so that if he didn't want me to do it, that he would say, hey, don't do that, or I've got it. And he didn't say that. And I wanted to show him that I can also be responsible and I can help him with some of the responsibilities. He was so disappointed in my choice. I heard about it for about 2 weeks because I didn't price shop and he kept price shopping after I bought the item. There's no returning the item. It's over, it's done. But he was disappointed for about 2 whole weeks. Yeah, INTPs are very patient. There's not much he gets frustrated with, but shopping, me not doing a good job shopping, he gets. Okay, yeah, I'm going to tell him about Honey. What draws you initially? So I think that definitely the introverted thinking. So I don't notice this in comments from INTPs, but Carr seems to be allergic to introverted feeling. And I feel like I'm allergic to introverted feeling. I like to hang out with the people, but like the people closest to me need to have that introverted thinking somewhere high on their list, like so that I just don't have to work so. And so well, his mom said when the first time he saw me that he lit up like a Christmas tree. So Carr is the most geeky of all. Let's see. How do we explain Carr? He's an interesting blend of a human being, but he's like, he doesn't talk to people. He doesn't have a need to put himself out into the world. He doesn't take up space in the world. And he doesn't react to hardly anything. And so the first time he saw me, his mom immediately, so there's a 12 and a half year age gap between us. So neither of us thought that, there would be a relationship. And his mom said the first time he saw me, he lit up like a Christmas tree. So my extrovert sensing, like I take up space in a room. I come into a room and I'm very noticed. And Carr just responded to it. And which I didn't notice that he did, but he initiated a conversation with me. Like he sat there and waited for his mom to be done talking with me, and then he initiated a conversation, which is completely unlike Carr. Like he never initiates a conversation. But then he loved to talk to me because INTPs are very protective of the information that they have in their head. They don't want to share it with just anybody because a lot of people don't understand the way that their brains think. And I certainly am not nearly as smart as my husband, but I can follow his thought process. So, when he's telling me something and it, is building like he's building something, I can help him. He's not as good verbally. Like he's not as good at getting his thoughts out, but I can connect the dots for him. So he immediately loved that I was able to understand what he was saying and also help him get out with what he was saying. So all this important information that he had in his head, he just started talking. And I'm always very flattered when INTPs want to tell me about their life, and because I know, you know, how important their information is to them. And then also he just started making my life a lot easier. So yeah. Wait, I missed that comment, Grace. No, Car does not want to be seen on YouTube. FI, so I'm not exactly, so when I'm having a conversation with high FI users, what happens is they want to assume that everyone has, or this is how it feels to me, that everyone, let's see. How do I explain this? They like to, so occasionally they'll because I come across as cold and detached to extra or introverted feeling types because they care so passionately what they care about, and I'm so detached. You know, when I have an idea, I immediately think this idea is brilliant and I immediately start to act on it. And then when it's wrong, I notice it's wrong and I just pivot. It's done, it's wrong, I just pivot. And so introverted feeling types often like to ask me what I'm passionate about, and what I'm passionate about right now is what I'm doing right now. But then I can pivot and not even care about that at all. And to them, like, it's hard for them to understand why I wouldn't care. And then also they try to, so I'll give you a for instance. So my mom is an ISFP and I adore this woman. She made my childhood so fun and funny woman. But so I went through something that was a little sad, and I have 5 sisters, and I was over it. It was done. It was handled. It was fine. And she called one of my sisters, and she said, I can tell Luann is trying to be really brave, but I can tell that it's really getting to her. And I was like, so then my sister, because she cares so much, she obviously had to tell the other sisters that I'm being brave. And then I had all these sisters so worried about me, and it was handled. It was done. It wasn't even hindering my day. It wasn't even in my thoughts, except that my sisters kept asking me about it, and it kept coming up. And this has just been my life. My mom always was I think she was concerned that, I don't know. But anyway, introverted feeling between FI can have a lot of weight to it. So I've been learning a lot about FI from me studying the INTJs like I have been recently. And yes, you can relate. My SE comes across very NE. Really? Can you explain that, Nathan? I think I seem very similar to ENTPs a lot of the time. Like, I relate a lot to Eric from Talking with Famous People. I watch him and I'm like, huh, yeah, that could be me in a different life if I was in a... Katie! Well, Katie, because I used that... I hope you don't mind. I used it as clickbait. Because, listen, I had done the poll on if people wanted me to post that. I have one last video that you and I did, and I did a poll to ask if people wanted me to upload it today or to do a live. And then because I had put you in the name of that, or in that little post, I thought it was okay to use that picture that I liked of us. And also, yeah, clickbait. Is it good? Katie, I told them you were on a date. How's your date going? Yes, Katie in the chat is the other, you guys have met her in the chats I've done with Katie, the other ESTP. Well, there is going to be video editing today because he messaged me before I went live and he was like, so what's up with these videos that I had promised him? So after I get off of here, I'm going to have to make some videos for him. Oh, Katie, I missed your comment. Listen, I'm obsessed with coffee cups. Well, okay, very specific coffee cups. So I like coffee cups that have a very... Ooh, he had a red Range Rover? So you're not on the date anymore. Tell us more, Katie. What, doing lives, Nathan? You want to do these more? I'm having a good time. Oh, he asked if he could hold your hand. What'd you say? Well, INTPs, you told him to calm down. Oh, and how honest, TJ, of him to ask if he could hold your hand. Jess, hey. Oh goodness, sisters are Snapchatting me. Can you guys tell? Post the other video. Well, Katie, I'm saving that for when I'm in a pickle. That's a video I can just post whenever. So I'm trying to stack up videos. And I had so many videos of us right in a row, I thought, no, her date's over. By telling him to calm down, you thought? You were being nice? Yes, my sisters are blowing up Snapchat for some reason. I should have turned off the notification. Yeah. INTJs, I tell you. Hey, Car. Listen, my cat's about to throw a fit. And here, I'll take you with me so I don't have to. She only hunts at night. And she throws a fit if she wants to go out. I'm fine, Car. I let the cat out. Okay, where are we? I have a cat here. Your auntie. Aww. Yeah, she for sure will be in love. I'm so excited for her. Wait, you're thinking Car is a figment? Aw, thank you, Callie. DR Hayden, hey. Did he pursue you? So he pursued me, which a lot of people, we can talk about that for a second. Wait. I want to see Katie's comment. It went by so fast. Okay, but all the... We'll hold your hand. Yeah, when it's time. Yeah. And ISTJs always ask for permission. Or, I mean, the one ISTJ I dated. So Car pursued me. Yes, good question, Nathan. Katie, if he had just grabbed your hand. Well, Grace. Hey, David. So yeah, Car pursued me, and I had a lot of people in the comments. I think that a lot of times depends what the personality types are in the relationship, but also Carr knew that he wanted me for a long-term partner, and he had already decided he wanted to assert himself as the leader in our relationship. So he wanted to take the lead in our relationship, which I like, because I mean, now I'm free to just be more playful than if I had, pursued him. At least I think that's probably why, our relationship is the way it is, because he set it up to be like that. His nervous energy was intense. Jonathan, are you an INTP? And also, if you are you similar to my husband? Really? You tone it down because you like being the one that pursued? Yeah, listen, I don't know if you guys know this about INTPs, but they have closet control issues. Not about many things, but the things that they have decided should be like they should be. At least my husband, if we disagree, which we don't often disagree, because he likes to give me the life that I want, and he likes to make me happy. But if we disagree, he gets his way, because they have closet control issues, is what I say. Well, I have a boyfriend and you can have a slave. Really? Well, Carr doesn't come across as if he has control issues. For the most part, he does what, now it's going. You'd be happy if Guy just took the initiative to make dinner? Or just ask him. These comments are going by so strangely. Yes, very giving. That's very exactly true. Very giving, but you have the final say. Listen, I have a question. Is that an INFP thing that they, you said be a slave? Are INFPs just very, very much like that kind of? It's Carr. Well, his name is Carlton, but I call him Carr. Uh-oh. My sisters are going crazy. It's not good either. I'm so sorry. I'll get better at this. I have you propped up with a little, yeah, it's strange. But I thought the angle was good. Uh-oh. Now I think the lens is dirty. Shall I stick around? Let's see. I love it. The Carr earthquake. Yes, that's exactly how Carr is. Very easygoing, but very, very stubborn. Oh, well, thank you. I'm so good at making eggs. I know one INFP, and she really is in a relationship where she doesn't have much say in the matter, and she actually doesn't even try. She likes to not make any decisions in life at all. I would say stubborn and hard-headed. Are those the same things? You tell us in the comments. No, I think hard-headed is a little more like they refuse to learn, but INTPs, Okay, lewd question though. Yes, that's Katie. That is exactly how they are on dates. Once he calms down, listen, Katie. Once he calms, sorry about that. Okay, so I muted my sisters. I'm sorry, it kicked me off because my sisters were going crazy. I muted them, so I'm back. Did you guys want to still keep chatting? And are you guys done? Nathan, will you let me know when you're back? Nathan messaged me as well and asked if I was, what happened. So Nathan, will you let me know when you're back? Are you asking Katie if she's ever dated other types in the past? Yes, I have dated other types. I have dated many other types. Yes. Let's see, what other, oh, Nathan, good, thank you. Well, listen, the situation went from good to not so good. Okay, is that better? You're talking about MBTI. Okay, so actually, because I come from such a big family, and I grew up in such a close-knit community, I had access to a lot of intimate relationships. Like the people I went to school with were also the people I played with when we hung out and weren't in school, and then we went to church with the same people. Like it was a very close-knit group of people, and I started noticing trends in personalities. So I noticed that very often the oldest girl in a family or the second to oldest girl in a family, because Amish people have, massive families. And I noticed that one of the two oldest girls would often be lead FE. I didn't know what it was, but they would very much be the responsible mothering type. They would, take charge in the house. And then when I went to high school, so I noticed that enough that we talked about it with our friends when we were Amish. And then when I went to high school, my teacher had me write a paper on how birth order affects personality types. And then when I went to college, I took the Myers-Briggs personality type test, and I actually scored as an ENTP on that test. And then when I got with Carr, like he's just such a strange personality type, and I wanted to figure out what type he was. And so we got into that and started studying Carr, which he tested as an ISTP. And it was almost right, but it didn't quite fit. And then we found INTP, and we were like, okay, yeah, because INTP is very similar to the ISTP, but they're just, a little stranger. You're the oldest of 3 girls. Okay, what personality type are you, Stephanie? You want to join the Amish? I think Carr is watching in the other room as well. Carr, if you're watching, will you comment as well? Oh, you're the youngest sibling. Of how many? Queen, I think we've had this conversation. You think INFJ. Okay, and that's pretty high. How many siblings do you have? And also, what's the age difference in your guys' family? Okay. What was the other one between, Stephanie? We may have had this conversation in the comments, but I have a lot of, oh, Trevor, hi. I have conversations. I forget everybody's type so fast. Yes, I have an INFJ. So my INFP friend that I have, so what we really like is she really likes my SE. So when we're going about the world, I can point out things to her. Her ability to see reality is even worse than my husband. Like she lives in her own little dream world so much that a lot of times she gets confused. And then I'll just point out things to her. She's like, ah. Really? Like it's like a whole other world to her. And I really like hanging out with her because she is so not take the lead that any fun idea that I have, she's like, yeah, sounds like a plan. Like she's very dry about it, but she's always just down to hang out with anyone. Whereas like some people, if I come up with a good plan, they shoot me down. Roxy doesn't. Considered, I mean, like, that's just a really loaded question, or like a deep question. What's it? Car is not Amish, and I'm not Amish anymore either. Um, but no, Car was never Amish. 7 siblings. Everybody odd. 7 siblings. INTP. Where do you fall in the lineup? And also, how many girls? How many boys? Give me all the deets, ages, all that. I mean, but that's a lot to type out, so you don't have to. But I'm very curious about all that. INTP writing a book. I'm trying to think about how that would go. Give me some examples. Have INTPs written books? I'm sure they have. That'd be fascinating. So does Car look like a nerd? Yes, but Car does concrete construction. So let's talk about his looks for a second. So he does concrete construction. And so he's very built, and also he eats very, very clean. So he has a very, very strong, manly body, but he absolutely comes across as a nerd. So, I mean, I find Car extremely attractive. You cannot see him. He refuses to be on camera. But he definitely, like, if you met him, you would definitely think that he is a nerd. And he does this really strange thing too, where he is so quiet. So he really does have the ability to come in and out of a room without being noticed, and he can even do it in conversations. And I'll just give you, for instance, I recently reconnected with my Amish family. This was about 2 years ago, and they invited me to my family's wedding. One of my cousins got married. And this was family I hadn't seen for 15 years. Like we had completely cut ties and I hadn't seen them for 15 years. I took Car. We were all standing in a circle. They were so happy to see me. It was so much fun. We were having a conversation. We were all standing in a circle, and Car was in the conversation, having a conversation with us. And someone asked him a question and we all turned toward him and he just wasn't there. And they were like, where's Car? And I said, I don't know. This happens to me all the time. It's so common for Car just to come in and out of conversations. You 1 minute he's there and the next minute he's not. And another thing that he does that's really strange is that the way that he's treats people. So he makes people wait. People always, because he's so quiet, so people wait to make a decision on whether, like, first impressions aren't everything. And I've learned this from Car, because he makes people wait. People are like, what do we think about him? Like, they just can't figure him out. They can't decide. Do they like him? Do they not? Is he annoyed? Is he happy? Like, he's so neutral for so long. And then he does kind deeds behind the scene. Like, he watches people and he sees what they like, and then he does like a kind deed just behind the scenes. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. He does this all the time. Why can I not think of an example? And then he won't even draw, like, no one will even know that it was him that did it, but then they'll just figure out eventually that it was Car that did the kind deed, and they'll have been on the line on whether they like him or not for so long. And then he did this kind deed behind the scenes, and then they're like, oh, we just love him. He's just so much fun to watch. He's sneaky. You do the same thing? So this is an INTP thing? Oh, it's so slippery. But it keeps me so fascinated because I think that's part of the reason that 7 years into our relationship, I'm still just so fascinated because I'm always just trying to keep up with him. Like he just slips in and out of my life. And when he's here, it's just so pleasant, but then he's gone, just out of my grasp. Love it. You just said to make the quietest footfalls. Oh dear Lord, what an INTP thing. Yes, he was so quiet. And also, these friends, he has made them. Cliff has been in the family for 4 years. For 4 years, Cliff has not been able to decide if he likes Car or not. Like it's been 4 years of stringing him along, and now Cliff is completely obsessed. That's what you do when you make people. I've integrated that strategy into my life because it's so effective. Car could do anything now and get away with it because the loyalty is so intense. How many times do we, well, I mean, keeping some of our life private. Do an impression of you. What makes you think I'm good at impressions? I'm only good at being me, aren't I? Sarah MBTI, she did impressions of some of YouTubers and she was funny. Oh, that's just crazy that INTPs have the ability just to slip in and out of a room. I'm the exact opposite. Even when I look my worst, actually, I have gotten better at it, at toning myself down and not, because what I do as an ESTP, when I walk into the room, I walk in and my eyes scan the room like I am there and I'm taking in the room. And when I see something interesting, my eyes lock on it and my whole body points to that direction. And like, I become I just am noticed. Whereas I've noticed from being with my INTP so long that if you just, glide in and don't stare at interesting things, like you can get away with not being as obvious. You like the spotlight? I'm confused by that comment, Remley. Nathan, are you still here? Katie, are you still here? I did like Sarah's impression of me. I wish she would have done longer ones of everybody because that would be very interesting. If I had the ability to do impressions, I would steal that idea from her. Brilliant idea. You have to pee? Well, go pee. Just take my phone with you. Hey, Emily. Yeah, Katie, we have all kinds of solutions for you. Nathan's making tea. Nathan is always making tea. I always message him when I'm in a bind. I'm like, hey, can we chat? He's like, hang on, put the kettle on. Always making me wait. Why do you need your keys to pee? Ooh, are you locked outside of your apartment? Yes, Emily, let's do it. Listen, I've been avoiding doing live interviews because this is a little like I'm having a fun now, but if you watch the beginning of this chat, like I was nervous and terrified. So I've been avoiding it because I didn't know how I would do on camera live. But yeah, I would love to do that. Who has your keys, Katie? Everybody has solutions for you. Yes, if we had Katie and Jess, listen, Jess, you promised me a while back. Okay, well, you didn't promise, but you said maybe next time Katie comes. Or you want to go to Florida with me to see Katie with me. Yes, Emily, listen, you're so good at doing leading the conversation in your interviews. You do a really good job. So I would imagine that it's probably very comfortable to do a chat with you. Yeah, Nathan would have fun editing. Me promise, Jess? I've been telling you for months. Yes, come. Listen, you don't even have to wait for Katie. You can just come to my house. Or if you want to come to my house, and then I can tell Katie she can come if she wants to. Yay, Jess is coming. Florida. Miami. Listen, Queen, if you do interviews and you're good at it, why does it matter? Just do what you have fun doing. Yes. Listen, Katie, will you repost that? I was not quite done reading that. Crush on that ISTP was hot, folks. Very hot. If my phone wasn't recording this chat, I would show you guys a picture. Unless you have fun doing evil. Then you have other issues. Everyone's idea of evil is different, though. But I mean, we can all agree on some, some of the main ones. Yeah. How do I know if someone is an ISFP? So first and foremost, they just march to the beat of their own drum. So and I would say, Emily, listen, can you help me out with this one? So I would say that they are earthy. They're very earthy type. Drum intensifies. ISTPs, Katie. I feel like you all are having conversations in there. Ask me questions that I can tell you another story while you all chat. ISTPs are very sexy. Mm-hmm. Listen, Cars told me, because occasionally, so here's what happens in my life. Katie, does this happen to you? So occasionally in my life, I have more fun. Sometimes in my life, I have periods where I'm really, really serious for a long time and I don't hardly drink at all. And then there's sometimes when I'm really leaning into playing hard. And when we were together, probably 3 years into our relationship, he told me, he said, I like you better when you're not drinking. And then, yeah, I mean, he loves me either way, but he likes me. How did we meet? So I was friends with Cars. So when we left the Amish, that really was very traumatic for me, and I didn't do well at all. And so I had to get away. Summer when I was 17. So the year after we left the Amish, I had an aunt that had left the Amish as well, but she hadn't. Amish call the outside world English, and we were English. Like we went from being Amish to being English. I don't know why that. She went to a Mennonite church around in Kentucky, and so because I wasn't handling losing my whole family and everything, very much, very well. I came to Kentucky. I had to get away, and I came to Kentucky to stay with my aunt for the summer. And I met Carr's sisters, and then they did through a friend had been in that I went to the Mennonite church with my aunt's Mennonite church, and so when I met his sisters, and they did residential house cleaning, and they cooked at a boys' camp a couple years after I had spent the summer here. And they asked me if I would come clean for them because they do residential house cleaning here. And then in the summer they went to cook for a boys' camp, and they asked me if I would come clean for them and while they were gone. And so that's how Carr and I met. You're an INTP. Carr doesn't drink at all. That's definitely an INTP thing. INTPs don't have casual sex, I'm pretty sure. It's just not a thing INTPs do. I mean, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. The ones I've known just aren't into it. They like their people. And that's it. Yes, INTPs. I agree, Trevor. Difference between a healthy ESTP and an unhealthy ESTP. I would say that probably an unhealthy ESTP just hasn't, Katie, can you help me with this one? So I would imagine, I only know myself and Katie, but I would imagine an unhealthy ESTP has not yet found how much they value their intimate relationships, is my assumption, because that brings so much value to my life. But then, what's the difference? Like, how much does gender have to play with that? Women are usually more into relationships, like close relationship with family and friends, than guys. So, how much does that have to do with it? I don't know. That's a question for people smarter than myself. But I would imagine that ESTPs probably could do very well living the... Wait, I'm very nice with my hair. What? So listen, let's talk about my hair. I don't know what you said about my hair, but I've noticed that I like my hair up, and I wonder if that's an Amish thing, because when I was growing up, one of my favorite features on people is their neck. And so when my hair is down, you can't see my neck. And I always, I want to do a video on what I looked for in beauty when I was Amish. My hair is greasy? Is that what you... Full rage time is what makes you unhealthy? Oh, yeah. Yes, I've been a bully in my life when I was unhealthy, yes. What brings out my cheek? Are you talking about my cheekbones? What brings it out? Oh, a video on what I found beautiful about Amish women? Yeah. So a lot of the movements, I see myself move on camera, and a lot of the movements. So because Amish, I'll make a video about this, but because Amish people dress exactly the same, like the dress patterns are the same, you can't stand apart in it for any reason. So the way that you stand apart is by your movements and your gestures. And like, I watch myself move on camera, and I'm like, Melinda used to do that, because I used to watch Melinda do that in church, and I guess I just mimicked her and took on the movement as my own. Nathan, aim it high. I like it. I do believe in God, yes. Yes. ISTPs. Aw, thank you. So you like my hair up? Thank you. How does my what feel like? My NI, so I'm very, very terrified of it. So Nathan can attest to this. When it comes to details, like if I didn't have Nathan behind the scenes to help me not freak out about details. So I'm assuming, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I don't like the idea of having to organize everything in my life, like organizing my YouTube page, organizing like when we put out videos, like that all seems so daunting to me. And so Nathan will take it and he'll break it down for me. Like he'll give me little assignments to do, and that makes it much more doable. Yeah, Nathan is real positive. Sheila, hey. Hey, I watched your typing video that you did with talking with famous people. You are just so precious. You are so cute. I meet Nathan. So Nathan actually reached out to me. I love this story. So I had done an ESTP video. What was it? 2 years ago, and I had put my Snapchat code under that video, and occasionally people would just, oh, thank you, message me on Snapchat. And I wish, Nathan, you should tell this story. So Nathan messaged me one day, and we had a short little conversation. I was always happy when people reached out. It didn't, happen often enough that I was bored by it, and I was happy to chat with him. And then I thought that the conversation was over. But Nathan is scheming. I don't know if you guys know about this about Nathan, if you picked up about this. But so he, in the conversation, he mentioned that I should make more YouTube videos. And I was like, yes, I want to. And he was like, let's see, what did he say? I can be very persistent. And so he just took the role of reminding me to do YouTube videos. And so I don't know, like a couple weeks after that, he messaged me and he was like, hey, why are you not making YouTube videos? And I was like, I know, I'm going to. And then through that conversation, like he just occasionally would message me and be like, hey, I don't see YouTube videos. And then like we would start talking about other topics. Like we have similar interests in the people that we watch. I mean, which, who knows? Nathan is very scheming. Did he change his taste, just for, no, he didn't, because he suggested books that I liked. But we found out we have very similar interests, and we started reading the same books. I do residential house cleaning, so I clean and listen to books all the time. Like I'm just going through books all the time. And so we were reading the same books, and then we had conversations about that. And then, so he kept getting on me about the YouTube videos. And one day I was like, hey, the part that was stopping me from making YouTube videos is the editing part, and also the details behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff like you have to plan, and you have to, like, there's just a lot of stuff you have to do. And so I was like, hey, why don't you take up editing, and you can learn that skill while I learn how to be on camera. And so it took him a while. He did not agree to it to begin with. And it took him a while to say yes, but then he was like, okay, send me a video. And then he edited the video, and we just work really well together. I love that relationship. He's bossy. I mean, but everyone in my life ends up, being a little, take charge, because they have to be. What reaction I would have had if no one showed up to the live stream? Well, listen, if you watch the beginning of this live stream, I'm just a nervous wreck. So what I would have done is I would have just hopped off. I would have been like, alrighty, bye. But I already knew Nathan was going to be here, and I had messaged Katie, so she knew I was going to go live. So my friends would have showed up, and I would have probably had a conversation with them. And Remley, I knew that he was going to be here. So yeah. I knew some of my friends were going to be here to hang out with me. Nathan, you should just tell me when I have worn out my welcome. I'm loving this. I hope so. I hope I can make Nathan proud. The best and worst part about being an ESTP? Ooh, Katie and I. Katie, good question. I like that story too. Best and worst part about being an ESTP. Katie, can you answer that one while I tell the story of how we met? Because I really love that story too. I didn't know you were going to be here. Did you know that I look forward to your comments? You don't often uh, comment on videos, but whenever I get a notification that you've commented, I don't know if you remember your first comment on my videos. It's the first time you commented, but it made an impact. So what was I going to say? Oh, Katie and I. So yes, you can watch the story. For those of you that have been following me, you already know the story. So I started making YouTube videos and Katie found me. She said that she watched my original ESTP video a long time ago. And then I started uploading videos and she found my videos and she started going through, like in one afternoon, she started going through and watching all my videos. And Katie writes really well. So I don't write as well. So as an ESTP, like I really come into a room and I take up space in the room. Katie does that with her writing. So she started writing on all these comments and like her comments excited me. Like it was exciting and it was so impactful to me that I made a video. I sat down and made a response video to her comments. And in hindsight, reading her comments, I'm like, now, how was that so exciting? But the journey she took me on with her comments was very impactful. And in that conversation, I was like, oh my goodness, we have to meet. We have to talk. We have to meet. And she lives in Florida. I live in Kentucky, but both of us being ESTPs were like, yes, we will. We'll just do this. Like, it wasn't even like, oh my goodness, that's too far. We were just like, okay, yes, we're going to do it. And so then we exchanged some contact information and we just randomly would message each other. And I got excited about her. Like when we were messaging over Instagram, like I was just so excited to chat with her. She's a lot of fun to chat with. And then I went to Florida to meet Nathan because he was here. One of his piano students had brought him to Florida. And I went to meet him in Florida and I messaged Katie to see if we could meet up and we were not able to meet up. Our schedules just didn't work out. And then Katie came to see me. Best part of the ESTP, doing whatever you want all the time. Yeah, that's true. Worst part, being scared of hurting people's feelings and just wanting to have a good time and wishing the feelings would go away. Yeah, I would say that's true. And also I get scared because that I just do what I want all the time and I make mistakes. I get scared that I get scared of being rejected for who I am. Like I don't have, that's how I learn in the world, is by making mistakes, and I'm just always making mistakes. And sometimes I get scared that people are going to reject me for who I am. And then you feel guilty for hurting people's feelings, Katie. You want to be an ESTP? It's a very fun, free feeling, I tell you. Yeah. Katie, that message may have been for you. ISTPs do get scared of hurting people's feelings very much. Except yeah. that also seems to make, like I've seen in my brother, it seems to make him a little gullible. Because if you tell him that he's hurt your feelings, he will back down immediately, which seems unfair to me. I have to clean off the lens again. When we had our incidents, it got blurry. Oh, you feel guilty for being the overconfident. I don't get so scared of hurting people's feelings. I'm pretty good with relationships. I will take that back because, you can be for instance for me, Katie. I'm not good at messaging back, am I? Like it's very sporadic. So, I mean, which we already know that about each other, but occasionally I worry about that with my friends and like relationships that I build on YouTube. I am very sporadic. Like I will message you and then I will just not message you or not respond. And I feel guilty about that, but I'm just living life over here. It just happens. What is ESTPs being the horniest type? Who are you asking, Nathan? Each individual person what my thoughts are on them? Are you asking me or someone in the comments? Me. Okay. Will you rephrase that question into something I can answer a little bit better? Well, let me here. Can I take this in this direction? So Dave's superpowers are really because that I have noticed that everybody has their own beliefs about. So I thought that my sister Renee was an Ian. I suck. Right, exactly. Glad you understand, Katie. So I really, I thought that my sister was an ENTP and she is an ENFP. And people were telling me she's an ENFP, but uh, I have advice for everybody. Let me continue on with what my story is. So, uh, so I was wrong about her type and I've been wrong about other people's types. And then I also think I notice in the comments, like people have such strong opinions about stuff. And I know that I think there needs to be a very centralized, like everyone, because I explained it to Katie, like if she thinks the sky is green and the sky is blue, to me, we have a different definition of the sky color. And I think that happens with the types. Like for me, I thought Renee was an ENTP. She looked like an ENTP for me, but my definition of an ENFP was wrong. So I didn't know what category to put her in. And I think that happens a lot. So Dave's superpowers doing all this research and putting it all into like a packaged thing. Like his system is too hard to understand, but I'm really, really glad he's doing it. C.S. Joseph, I like C.S. Joseph. There are some glitches in his system that I don't like, and he does a really, really good job of explaining it. Who else did you mention? Yeah, she's ENFP for sure. How was I so wrong? Who else did you mention? Eric. Ooh, Eric is just entertaining. I mean, the man is a madman. Really. He has some brilliant thoughts and ideas. But you know what? Eric, if I were to give Eric advice, I would say visually make things less daunting for me. And then that's it. He's entertaining. And he's brilliant. What are your thoughts, Nathan? Drive through at Wendy's. Just tell us what you're having after you get it. Put up Snapchat. Listen, I created a Patreon. Well, I didn't create a Patreon. Nathan created a Patreon. So head over there and I've got my Snapchat code over there. Wait, Nathan, what are you agreeing with? I said I'm sensual and sexual. Are you sure I said that? Super chats. How do you do super chats? Well, I'm sorry, folks. I'm just losing money for no good reason. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to navigate this whole thing right now. I probably have to do that beforehand. Yes, C.S. Joseph, I really like that grid because it makes it easy. Nathan is trying. Of course he is. Sensual and sexual. Sensual, sexual. Listen, sometimes the words that come out of my mouth, I don't understand that. I mean, I would say I have a sensual, I don't know, energy maybe. I don't know how to explain it. You find it offensive, but also true. Aw, of course you're working. I love hearing about your farm. It sounds like such a fun place to live. Taylor. Taylor, will you explain that? Are you like that? I don't know why I said that, but I am monetized, yeah. It's international spy. Huh. Yeah, if we had been brought up in the right environment, we could be. Super freak. Taylor, so I think that in the past you've told me that you identify with Katie a lot. As an ESTP, which I actually had. Oh, thank you. I had someone else tell me that recently. Another ESTP guy said that they identified more with you than with me in our conversations that we had, which I find interesting. What other story can I tell you guys? Didn't you say that you identify with Katie more than me in our chats, or was that not you? I have way too many conversations. Nathan's been telling me, listen, if you guys have commented on my videos and I have not responded, it's because I didn't think it was important for me to respond to every comment. And also, I'm a busy girl and easily distracted. Nathan's been telling me for forever that I need to respond to every comment. And recently, I watched a video and I realized that I, in fact, do need to respond to every comment. So I will be responding. Even if you left me a comment a long time ago, I'm going through video by video and responding to every single comment. Listen, I think ESTPs and INTPs are just the best match. I don't understand why people haven't discovered this before. You don't think I need to respond to every comment? Katie, I was just saying, I've had a few guys say that they relate to you as an ESTP more than me, because that's always the question. Like if I have a guy ESTP comment on my videos, I'm always like, hey, did you relate to me or Katie? And usually they say they related to you more. Domesticate. But if you win us over, we will do almost anything for you, as long as we still have our freedom. We need freedom to fly, but we will bend over backwards for the people we love. ESTP guys, I don't know. I feel like ESTP guys would be even harder to manage than girls. I don't know why I think that. Yes, Katie is the other person in my... Yes, she did those videos with me. How did you know he was an ESTP queen? Alexandra, have you dated an ESTP in the past? Yes, we want to meet ESTP guys. I feel like we need to have a convention of ESTPs, ISTPs, INTPs, and so all the high TI users convention. I can play matchmaker for everybody. INFJ guys. You have. Yeah, but you said you've come across quite a few ESTPs in your life. How was that as an ISTP? How was dating an ESTP for you? Yeah, Katie just recently dated an ISTP. And Katie, why did I not put you in contact with Jess on how to deal with that? Yes, do that. When did you start making videos, Sheila? Didn't you just join this, start commenting on these videos not long ago? I'll come check out your channel. Bring him on. Just do it, Sheila. The nice thing, so it's frustrating with how slow YouTube grows, like how slow the your numbers go up, but actually it's really nice in that you can start out and not be good at it, and it's completely fine because so few people watch it, and it's just enough pressure that it makes you want to do better, which, I mean, you're probably a perfectionist. I saw your makeup and your hair, so you probably would do a good job the first time around. But for me, it's been nice that it's growing so slowly. And right now, Nathan and I are actually in the, we always are trying to gauge, like we want to try some risky moves and things that might not go over well, that might fall completely flat, but we want to try it, and we're trying to decide, is it wise to try it now while I have so few followers, or would it be better to try it when we do have more followers? So I'm always in favor of the risky moves now, but I mean, who knows? Well, just videos that might be really, really terrible and fall completely flat, which we've done those in the past, and those are fine. But I actually want, like, Nathan, how do we explain it? I have one on the shelf right now that I just can't post because, no, I'm not pretending to have drama. What? Hey, listen, fill me in, Emily. What exactly are you agreeing with? Do you do it now or do you do it later? I mean, I do stupid things. I do what I'm interested in. Have I ever had a head injury? Listen, do you watch Joe Rogan? He's been on this for the past how long? He's convinced people that are crazy have had head injuries. I do not think I've had a head injury. Mm, uh, but why did you ask me that question? If I've had a head injury? Let's see, who was on his show that he's convinced? Um, what are you laughing about, Nathan? I mean, I'm saying I don't think I had a head injury, but I'm asking you why you're asking me. Start a Facebook group? Well, we've thought about that. And Instagram. But do you know how much work that takes? It takes so much mental energy and to come up with ideas and to put them out there, but we need to. We really do. You're right. Sounds like amnesia after head injury. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, but Joe Rogan, what he's talking about, an Amish injury. We did have our buggy tip over. My dad was a crazy lunatic, and so we would go through rivers. And when my brother was a baby, so I was probably about 3, we went through this river and it was a little too high, and our buggy did tip, but it was thankfully, I mean, it wasn't that high that that the buggy floated down river. It was probably, I don't know how high it was, but I mean, I don't think my head was injured then. I mean, but who knows? And then we had a horse. We always got our horses in pairs, and we had a horse pair called Kate and Karen. And Kate was really hot-headed, and she always went crazy on the way home from church one day. There was a really steep drop off, and she shied away from something, and it tipped. Nathan, when you message me, it vibrates the phone. Message me on Skype, because I've got Skype pulled up over here on the computer. I can see what you say. How do you know if you've had a head injury? No worries. No, I don't have Skype pulled up. Hang on, that was my phone. Oh yeah, I got your message. But I do have it pulled up. How did you get the head injury? Seriously, these comments come in patches. Nathan, you did? Yeah, we need to make a note. We will get that set up. We will do Facebook, Instagram, and all that. How have I not heard that story? Oh, yes, I have. That's when you ran into the curtains. Your parents were having a party, playing bingo, and you ran into something and you had a head injury. Is that right? Get Nathan on a chat. Yeah. And that would make it easier for me. The focus wouldn't have to be just on me. Oh, that was a second head. Things are making sense now. 2 head injuries. Got hit in the head. Listen, so people with head injuries are following me. This is all coming together. Well, you know what I'm saying, like spurts. Had a concussion. Listen, I promised Nathan that I was going to film some videos tonight, so I feel like I need to get off of here. I've been on here for an hour longer than I had planned. Before we started this chat, I was like, how long should I be on? And Nathan was like, well, aim for 30 minutes. And I've been on here for an hour longer. This has been so much fun. Yeah, Queen, I see you occasionally. You come in, you're like, you come dodging in and then you're out again. I like when you comment. It's always insightful. It's never just 30 minutes. chatting. I know, it's so much fun. I was a nervous wreck. Alrighty, folks. I really appreciate you guys making this easy for me. I hope you guys do this in the future. Yeah, I see you. I plan to do more. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. How do I sign off? Please like and subscribe. Hey, we're just finishing up. You're gonna have, oh, you're just coming in. No, this was so much fun. I had a blast. This was so much fun. Thanks for being here, Jess. I will meet you in person sometime in the future. Obviously, I've already had head injuries or suspected. I know, I need catchphrases. Alrighty, good night. Love you guys. Katie messaged me. If you already have, I will respond in just a second. Thank you again. Let's see, how do I get off of here? Good night.